Hey, fellow Schneider drivers, Friendly Bill coming at you. This is going to be a quick video about the apps that I use, trucking apps and also personal entertainment apps and other apps. So the first, we're going to go over the trucking apps that I use. Trucker Path. I use Trucker Path almost every day for locating truck stops, seeing where there's parking, rest stops. Trucker's Path is very useful, so I use Trucker's Path. The CatScale app. Now the CatScale app, there's two CatScale apps. There's CatScale and there's the Weigh My Truck app. The CatScale app will help you locate CatScales. So let's say you're in Los Angeles and you need to weigh your truck, and you like using CatScales. It will find a CatScale nearest you or in any address that you punch in. So the CatScale app will help you find CatScales. The Weigh My Truck app will actually allow you to weigh your truck and get the weights on your phone. You don't have to go in. Let's say you weigh your truck and you get the readout and it's scaled and everything's fine. You don't have to go in and get the ticket. Now, if your weights are close to being overweight, I mean, if you're like 33.5 and 33.8, you know, I would go get that ticket, because especially in California, you need to have the actual scale ticket as proof. Let's say they scale you and you're over, and say, no, I've got this, I scaled it, you know. So yeah, the Weigh My Truck will actually, you can actually punch in your information and get your truck weighed without going in. I use the TransFlow app. Personally, when I get a load done, I like to TransFlow it in immediately, and then I put it in my filing cabinet. So the TransFlow, you have to punch in the information as to where it's going and all that, but you only do that once, and then after that you just can TransFlow it. So I use TransFlow. I use Google Maps. I don't use Google Maps to plan my routes, but I do use Google Maps to get a close-up view of the facility and try to see where the entrance is. Also, let's say the navigation system, sometimes it's not exactly accurate about where it thinks your truck is. So sometimes it'll have your route starting way across the street on an on-ramp, and you're not sure how to even get over there. Sometimes Google Maps can give you some more detailed information, but you never ever want to use Google Maps as your primary navigation system. Don't do it. It's not for trucks, and it will lead you astray. So it's just to gather more information. Google Earth is another one I use. So let's say I'm going to a business for the first time and it's in Los Angeles, and I've got the address and I punch it in, and I'm trying to find out exactly how to pull into this business, because some businesses, if you miss the entrance, then you can get in a jam, or if you come into the wrong entrance, bang, then you're in a jam. So I like to know exactly where I'm going before I leave and before I start driving. So Google Maps, you can actually get a street view, so you can see exactly what the layout of the land is, and you can get a lot more detailed pictures of the facility with Google Maps, Google Earth. And I use the Pilot Flying J app. I use that sometimes if I know if it's getting late in the evening and I know I need to stop at a truck stop. I'll use the app to reserve parking, and you can also get all kinds of other information. So Trucker Path, Weigh My Truck, CatScale, TransFlow, Google Maps, Google Earth, Pilot Flying J. Those are the apps that I use as a truck driver. If you use some other apps regarding trucking, please leave a comment. I love to learn about what other people are doing. I love to become more efficient at my job. So if you have an app that you use, please leave it in the comments. That'd be greatly appreciated. It would help me. It would help other Schneider drivers. It'd be great. Now, these are apps that I use on a personal basis when the truck is parked and I lay down in my bunk, and these are some of the apps that I use. non-driving apps. Now, I'm not using any of these apps while I'm driving, but some are related to trucking and some aren't. So these are not related to trucking. Facebook, I think everybody uses Facebook, but as a truck driver, I use it to stay in touch with old friends and family, and I really use Facebook quite a bit when I'm not driving. So Facebook, I use YouTube a lot. Obviously YouTube, you know, you can get a lot of good information. There's a lot of trucking videos and entertainment videos, and YouTube's great. I also use Tubi, T-U-B-I. Now Tubi is a movie, television show app that you can watch. There's thousands and thousands of movies and television shows. It's kind of like it's like a free version of Netflix. So I wouldn't say it has the brand new releases like Netflix has, but these are all free. For instance, I watched Apocalypto yesterday, Mel Gibson's Apocalypto. I watched Machinist. I've watched a lot of really good movies on Tubi, and it's absolutely free. Free to download, free to use, free. T-U-B-I. I suggest you check it out. I use the Uber app, so I have the Uber app on there. You know, sometimes, you know, I have to just get a lift across town, and Uber with the app, you can do it. I don't know if you can even request an Uber anymore without the app, but Uber. Hourly News is just a news app that it gives a number of, it does the news, updates the news throughout the day, and what it does is it gives you like NPR, then it gives you Fox, then it gives you CBS, then it gives you ESPN, and it gives you all these different sources. So as you're listening to it, you're getting a different take on the same story. So NPR may report something about, let's say Trump does something, NPR reports it this way, and then Fox will report it a different way, and you can really get the difference between the news sources, how they deliver the news. So I listen to that. You know, it's just wise to get your news from a number of sources. So Hourly News. Prints Plus, just an easy way to get your photos printed at Walmart. And my banking app, of course. You want to keep a track of your finances. I just have the app for my bank, so I can check, make sure I'm getting what I'm supposed to get. So just to recap, trucking. Now, once again, you know, I'm just a driver. I'm not a office employee or a recruiter. Just a driver. So I can always learn new things. I've been driving for Schneider for 4 years, but I'm still learning new things. So like I said, if you have an app that you like to use, please leave it in the comments. And once again, I'm not using these apps while I drive. My phone is not even on while I drive. But some of those apps that I use when I'm parked is Trucker Path, Way by Truck, Cat Scale, TransFlow, Google Maps, Google Earth, and the Pilot Flying J. Personal apps I use when I'm parked: Facebook, YouTube, Tubi, T-U-B-I, Uber, Hourly News, Prints Plus, and my banking. So those are the apps that I use. If you have apps that you use, please leave it in the comments and help out a Schneider driver. Friendly Bill, catch you on the flip.